Wife died unexpectedly. And that's how I discovered her cheating. My name is Sebastian. I am 39 years old. I have been with my wife, Flora, for 16 years. 16 absolutely magical years. We met right after college, both first-year teachers at Eagle High School. I was in the math department, and she was in the English department. Total cliches, I know. A bunch of us, early career, teachers used to go out almost every Friday night. Those were good times I wouldn't mind reliving. Both Flora, that's what I call her. And I made great friends with some of our coworkers, including a best friend for each of us. Louis was the best man in our wedding, and Joanna was her maid of honor. We rigged it so that she would get the bouquet and him the garter at our wedding reception, but they never did date. Did you ever have a group of friends that felt like family? It was natural between us from the start. There was some serious chemistry. She was so attractive. I was smitten from the word go. She told me she was too, but I didn't know it. I've always been a bit oblivious. It took the entire first semester for me to finally get it together and ask her out. Her response: "You had one more week, then I was asking you out in front of everyone." Can you imagine the confidence it takes to say something like that? Almost 2 years to the day after that, we got married on a beach in Puerto Rico. It was a small wedding, just family and our best friends. We came back and had an amazing party with all of our teacher friends. Life seemed to move fast from there. Flor was pregnant just after our 1-year anniversary. Then we had another 2 years later, and another 2 years after that, and then, for good measure, one more 2 years after that. We were pretty good at this planning thing. Our kids have turned out great, each so different yet the same. It's weird saying that, but it's true. Rachel is our oldest at 13. Our only boy Wyatt is 11. Julia turns 9 in 2 days, and Hannah is 7. They just all seem to excel at everything they do. Rachel and Wyatt are so athletic, Julia is creative, and Hannah is just the funniest, sweetest little girl on the planet. How do you even begin to explain the joy of watching your kids thrive in their own unique ways? Our family vacations, mostly camping trips, won't be the same anymore. Our 16 years together have been just the best time of my life. She was always so involved and extroverted. I became more of a homebody over time. She coached the cheer team forever. I still went out some with her, but she kept busy with school events, coaching, and the kids' activities. I swear I married Superwoman. Have you ever felt like someone else was just carrying the world on their shoulders and doing it effortlessly? Though despite our differences, we never let that spark die. We had date nights, an active bedroom, and never went to bed or woke up without kisses. My favorite thing was holding her hand. Isn't it funny how it's the smallest things, like holding hands, that mean the most? I can't believe this is all over. That we will never be Harbor, Party of Six again. That's kind of why I am writing all this. I wanted to have a good moment, recall a few past memories. Try to remember that I was happy. 2 days ago, Flora died. Brain aneurysm. She was on the treadmill at the gym when suddenly she went down. That was it. She was gone, taken from us in a flash. How do you prepare for something so sudden? The kids are being stronger than they ever should have to. Kids are so resilient. I'm doing my best to keep it together in front of them. Our parents are helping but are grieving too. Everyone loved Flora. Louis and Joanna have been over a lot, checking on us. I just cannot believe this has happened. What would you even say to your kids in a moment like this? How do I go on? I know I have to for my children. I just can't picture my life without her. I do not exaggerate when I say this is the worst pain imaginable. Hopefully, it lessens with time. I'm crying myself to sleep each night because I try to keep the breakdowns and sadness to a minimum, so as not to trigger my children. They really need me now, and I have to be the strong one and support them. Would you be able to stay strong for your kids? Or would you fall apart? I just need to get through the funeral, then we can start rebuilding our life. Anyway, that's it. No need for advice. I just need to pour this out. Get it off my chest. Tell someone how I'm feeling, even if it's just strangers on the other side of the internet. Update. I was going through my wife's things, looking for mementos, and getting on her phone to get pictures. This was 2 days before the funeral. When I got into her purse, I found something I didn't expect. There was a second cell phone. It was passcode protected, but we had been together for 16 years. I could figure that out. What would you do if you discovered something like this? This woman has been cheating on me since our first date. The most painful of it all is it appears she and Louis, my best friend, have been having an affair for a number of years. I don't even know how long it has been going. I'm sure there is a lot I don't know at this point. She has had this phone for 3.5 years. A lot of it was on Telegram, and some of those messages dated back to 2016. I have screenshot, saved, downloaded, just dozens and dozens of messages, pics, videos, files, just everything. I can't believe what I saw. How do you even begin to process something like that? I am so betrayed. That's why I didn't attend the funeral. After I got into the phone, I couldn't handle much. I took my kids to my parents' house and just told them I needed some alone time to think and process. They understood and were fine with that. I stayed up almost all night reading Telegram messages. There wasn't just Lewis. She had active conversations with 2 other men as well, and archived conversations with 7 others. The thing is, there could be any number of conversations that have been deleted over the years. What would your first reaction be upon discovering this kind of betrayal? When I no-showed getting ready for the funeral, I started getting calls. I texted only my dad back and said, "I am fine. I am not going to hurt myself, so you do not have to worry, but I am not coming today." Do you think you could attend a funeral after learning something like this? The funeral came and went. I just couldn't do it. I could not stand there and say or hear how great of a woman she was. She wasn't. She was a liar and cheater. How would you feel having to sit through a funeral knowing the truth? When I no-showed, I started getting a lot of phone calls. My dad even stopped by my house. I left the door locked and played like I wasn't home. He didn't try to come in or anything and eventually left. It was a few hours after that I got a text from Lewis. "Hey bud, I didn't see you at the funeral. Just checking on you. We can grab a beer and just chill if you need to let off some steam." I finally responded to a text. "How about you go f*** yourself, you traitorous cunt? Don't ever contact me again." He did not message me back, and I assume he knows the cat is out of the bag. What would you say to the person who betrayed you like that? I just don't know how I'm going to overcome this. You think you know someone, you think they love you, you think you've built a life. Then you find it was all bullshit, and you can't even take your anger out on them. Is it even possible to move on from something like this? I decided to go full nuclear. F*** her reputation, f*** Lewis, f*** Joanna, f*** everybody. They all treated me like I was a joke. All these years lying to my face, betraying me in every way. Have you ever been pushed to the point of no return, where you just want to burn everything down? At the time of my last posting, I had only gone through the Telegram messages. That second phone of hers had email accounts dating back to before we were dating. It had texts between her and Joanna. It had Reddit accounts I didn't know about. This bitch has been facilitating her cheating since day one. I still remember the time Flora said she was going to lunch with Joanna, only for Joanna to show up at the house to drop something off. Sneaky bitch can think on her feet because she totally sold me on her lies. Faking that she forgot they were meeting and needed to hustle over to the cafe. How could I be so fucking naive? What would you do if you found out your partner had been orchestrating this level of deception from the start? I figured out through all this that Lewis and Flora began having sex days before I asked her out and never stopped. They have been having an affair for 16 years, right under my nose. He has dated others, gotten married, and divorced in that time. We've hung out countless times. We're each other's best man. She has been with at least a dozen other men during that span. I'm sure more than that. Every fucking teaching conference she ever went to. It looks like she hooked up with someone or brought someone with her. The videos are literally disgusting. She has pics, vids, sexting saved all over this device. She had a video of some fucking asshole finishing all over her engagement ring while she's wearing it. It's dated 3 days after I proposed. How do you even process finding out that someone you loved has been hiding this kind of life for so long? The most painful part, there are messages between her and Lewis that imply he may be the father of Rachel. I took my kids to get DNA tests finally last week. I wasn't going to, but the worry got to me. I have to know. I don't know what I will do if they are just side effects of her infidelity. Can you imagine the devastation of finding out that your own child might not be yours? They aren't happy with me anyway. Neither is my family. They don't think I should have gone nuclear. What good does it do now, they said. Everyone should know what kind of woman she really was. I'm not protecting her image, listening to people say how wonderful of a person she was. She wasn't. She was just a conniving whore. I posted everywhere. I put together hundreds of texts, messages, pics, censored, voice recordings, everything I could into one big file. Then I posted it on all of socials and all of Flora's. I tagged everyone I could. Lewis and Joanna for sure. Even highlighted parts for everyone. A few other coworkers and friends who f***ed her as well. Didn't want anyone to feel left out. Family, friends, I even tagged the school page. That has me on administrative leave for the time being. It also appears there's quite an investigation going on now. Firings are on the horizon as it looks like school grounds may have been used at times. Would you have the guts to expose everything if you were in this situation, no matter the consequences? I don't give a f*** what happens to that place. I'm leaving. I already made up my mind. I'm not staying in Eagle. I'm going to go far, far from here. At least I got the bitch's life insurance money. Once I get the DNA results back, I'm out. After everything, how would you even begin to move forward from all the destruction?